So this is actually going to be like a very different video than what I normally do. It's not going to really be recounting any history or analyzing anything. It's more just me talking about my history with a legendary bird from the Pokemon series, and why I call Zapdos my fated Pokemon in a sense. Though, before we get into that, I should explain to you why this is so significant to me specifically, and that's the fact that I have terrible luck when it comes to random chance or gachas or RNG in video games. Be it like whenever I'm playing Fire Emblem Heroes, I can never pull the hero I want from a banner. It's always like some other hero, or I know there was this one time where I really wanted like the Bunny Boy Crom, and so I pulled for him over and over again. I like ran through the story mode on all the difficulties so I had enough gems to pull him, and I got every other character in that pull but him. And I was just like, of course I did. But I think the best example of my unluckiness when it comes to video games is Rainbow Six Siege. Because I have played 536 hours of Rainbow Six Siege. That is more than anyone should have to play ever. And, well, they have these things called alpha packs in them. I've probably pulled like couple hundred of them at this point, and I have gotten 0 legendaries from them. Any legendary that I have in Rainbow Six Siege is one that I either bought with money or bought with R6. Like, R6 is money. Bought with renown. I have opened probably 200 packs, maybe just 150, and 0 legendaries. I don't know the statistics on that, but that's gotta be fucking unlikely if you ask me. But Siege is also a great example of another part of my luck when it comes to RNG in video games, is the fact that I have very strange luck, because like I said, I've never pulled a legendary, but I have pulled like 3 Black Ice, which is just as rare and just as valuable. And the first time I pulled it was for my favorite operator, Blitz, which in itself is actually kind of funny because when I first bought Blitz, it was an accident. I thought I was buying Montaigne, and he only went on to be one of my favorites because I decided to just start using him a lot, and over time, Ubisoft actually started buffing him and making him a fun operator to use. I was using him back when he was still a 1-speed, so if that, for people who understand Siege, you know what that means. So, it's just this strange, like, happenstance where I'm lucky only in a certain way. Now, moving that to Pokemon, over my 16 plus years of playing the Pokemon games, I have never encountered a shiny Pokemon. I also don't know the statistics on that one, but I've been playing ever since I had my old busted ass copy of Silver, which the save battery didn't work, and also I don't count Red Gyarados or any of those force shinies that everyone can get. I'm talking about a natural shiny that I've never encountered before. So I became very accustomed to not relying on like stat boosting items when it came to Pokemon. I didn't use any Pokeballs, no Great Balls, no Ultra Balls, no Master Balls, because I saw no need, because increasing the chances I wasn't convinced it would help in any way. And I also thought they just looked absolutely ugly on the battle screen, because it's like, your starter always starts on a regular ass Pokeball. And then you just see this like rainbow of garbage next to them, and it's just like, get out of here with that shit. I honestly don't think you need that pussy shit. Increased catch rates, that's for cowards. If you want to catch those 0.1% catch rate Pokemon, overwhelm them with the number of balls you fling at them, not some magic ass fucking shit ball. Come on. And so that just became a tradition for me when I was playing a Pokemon game, is I'd only use nothing but regular ass Pokeballs. I did it for Gen 2, Gen 3, the remakes of Gen 1, and then all the other gens after that. I haven't actually played 4 or 5 yet, so I'll probably do that there as well. But this leads us to my first encounter with Zapdos, and I think it was 2004 or 5, and the power plant in my copy of Leaf Green, because I'd never played Red or Blue when they first came out because I'd gotten the Pokemon at Silver. Now, I started the fight like I did with most fights with legendaries, because I think it's funny to open a fight by throwing a regular-ass Pokeball at them. And to my shock, Zapdos went down. First try, no damage, no status effects, no special Pokeballs, 0.4% catch rate, just a random act of luck. I caught him on the first try. And kind of what it is, it's a random act of luck. It's nothing special when you look at it as just an isolated incident. And you'd honestly be right to say it is if it didn't happen every fucking time I've played a Pokemon game. I played through Yellow once because Yellow is kind of boring, Red twice because I went back and actually played it, Leaf Green twice because I was a dumb kid and I reset my game after a while. I did Soul Silver, both X and Y, and I played regular Sun and Moon, but he's not in that one, so that one doesn't really matter. But every fucking time I encountered Zapdos, he went down in the first regular Pokeball. I'm honestly shocked. I don't know what the statistics on that. If someone wants to run the numbers on that, that'd be fucking impressive. I'd like to see what that is. But I think the only time, actually, yeah, the only time he's ever put up a fight was in Y, And I think it's because he was mad at me because I didn't play Y right away after X. And when I say put up a fight, I mean I knocked him down to yellow or orange health, and then I caught him in one try. It became such a running joke for me in all my playthroughs of Pokemon that I just made it a custom to name him Bruce every time I saw him, making it seem like this was the same bumblefuck Zapdos whose only real weakness was a regular-ass Pokeball. And it's actually kind of sweet thinking back to it that I've always had this friend I kept encountering, and it's the same bird I've seen through the many years I've grown up playing Pokemon. So, like, over time, I grew to love him in a sense, because I didn't like him at first. I really didn't like him at first, because I was like, what the fuck? I want like this luck with like Mewtwo. I want this luck with another Pokemon. Why is it always you, Zapdos? But over time, I actually learned to just love him and try to capture him every time I had a chance to. Though one of the biggest reasons I do call him my fated Pokemon is actually because of his appearance in X and Y. So for those who don't know, before I start talking about X and Y, I love water starters, and I think that they're the best of their generation, and I'm usually right. And I honestly don't have a problem with Froakie before we get into this. Froakie is a great Pokemon, and he's adorable. But when I first started doing my blind playthrough of X, part of myself told me that I needed to break my habits of just always picking the water starter. And since X and Y was my first return to Pokemon games after years of falling off, because the last game I had played was Soul Silver, I decided to pick the fire starter this time, because I was happy to see that it was going to become a psychic type later and not a fire fighting. Little did I know at the time that I was locking myself into another fated encounter with Bruce. For those who don't know, when you start your game of X and Y, whatever starter you choose decides your legendary bird spawn. I only learned this after finishing the game and looking to breed some Eevees to trade on the Wonder Trade. And I was looking at Pokemon with warm body as to hatch the eggs faster, and I wanted one that could fly. And I learned that Moltres has both of those things. And I was like, hell yeah, sign me up for a Moltres. Where can I catch one? Only to learn that not only had I locked myself out of catching a Moltres, instead, I was stuck with my good pal Bruce, as picking the fire starter in X and Y locks you to Zapdos. And the best part is when I encountered him, he went down in a single catch, like he always does. And I should also mention that all of these catches were 100% legit catches. None of that critical capture bullshit that I didn't even know was a thing, and I had to like look up what the animation looked like to make sure that it wasn't a critical catch. It was just me being absurdly lucky when it comes to Zapdoses. I think that's 6 Zapdoses I've caught now. Hopefully, if he does show up in the next Pokemon generations, I can reunite with Bruce. I still need to try to capture him in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And when it came to Pokemon Go, you know I was Team Instinct. How could I not be? This guy's been with me since '04. Of course I'm gonna rep his colors. So yeah, in short, the reason I call Zapdos my fated Pokemon is that no matter how bad my luck is when it comes to RNG in video games, especially with Pokemon or any game in general, I always managed to reunite with my homeboy Bruce. And honestly, his dedication to be part of my party for the past 14 years or so has definitely bumped him up the list of my favorite Pokemon. But no matter where he is on that list of my favorite Pokemon, he'll always be #1 as the most memorable Pokemon to me. It also doesn't help that, like, for like one of my birthdays, I went to see Pokemon 2000, which was one of the movies that was all about the legendary birds. And like, the entire theater was empty, and it wasn't that we rented out the theater. We didn't have the money for that. It was just no one went to see the fucking movie. So it was just me and my dad by myself watching the Pokemon movie, and that's the first time I ever saw an actual Zapdos. So he's been with me since like my 4th birthday, I think. When Pokemon 2, yeah, that'd probably be like my 4th birthday, 5th, 6th maybe.